Ladies and gentlemen, the world's #1 sports and recreation podcast, Cheap Heat, is back. It's Tuesday, November 26th. Thanksgiving is in a couple of days. Survivor Series is a couple of days after that. Coming to us from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is the physically large Statguy, Greg.
I remember the days when Survivor Series was Thanksgiving Day.
A Thanksgiving night tradition, they say.
Like none other.
And coming to us from an anonymous teenage girl's bedroom is 37 at 37 Dipperstein. Hey, Dip.
I'm at the home of Rob Fee, the famed Rob Fee right now.
And what teenager's bedroom is this?
This is the office. I'm in the office, where there's some wrestling paraphernalia and some sort of random hilarious things on the wall. This is the things that are on the home in this wall are basically just a mirror image of what is on Rob Fee's Instagram.
Really? Like a crazy ad.
Basically.
I like that they have the books color coordinated, though.
I love. Who doesn't love a color? We love the books color coordinated.
I love what are books? All right, there's so much happening in the world, everyone. First of all, we're gonna try to get together late tonight. Is that the plan, guys? A little 10 p.m. watch along?
Potential, yes.
No.
Dip potential? Because you were the one who said 10 p.m. and we were going with your time.
Listen, I hope to be home by 10 o'clock.
You have a dinner?
I have a hockey game.
You're going to a hockey game. You're going to a Florida Panthers game. No, you're going to a
I don't know what it is.
Lightning
Apparently,
Wait,
there's a black cylinder that you hit with a wooden stick, and you try. It's on ice.
But hold on,
it's not even on a court. It's on ice.
Aren't you in Orlando?
Skating on the ice.
Aren't you in Orlando?
Yeah.
What team is this?
I don't know. It's It's like the AA league or something.
Why are you, real quick, just curious, why are you doing that?
I gotta go. There's fun people going. I gotta go.
This is a thing fun people do is they go to the.
I'm going with people that you know very well.
And
who are the fun people? Can you name?
I got people going with the people.
You go and they go to the minor league hockey games in Orlando.
Yes.
Yeah. I bet there are some people with some interesting beliefs who will be at that game, buddy. Let me tell you right now. Let me tell you, don't go striking up any big political conversations at this hockey game. What are your thoughts?
I don't plan on it.
Yeah, don't just look around and go, can you believe Kamala blew it, guys? How did she lose to this guy? Am I right?
And Dip, just free advice about a hockey game. Be on the lookout for some people who are a little bit too happy to see that black puck get knocked around. All right? Those are the ones you really gotta watch out for. Those are the ones you gotta watch out for.
So you think it's that there are people there rooting particularly for the black puck to be beaten?
That's right.
I have a cool oyster egg.
Oyster egg.
Oyster egg. I have a cool Easter egg for the podcast.
Are you all right?
The chair to my left, where I'm sitting right now in this office, is the one where the Uncle Howdy QR code therapy videos were filmed.
Wow.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Why aren't you sitting in the chair?
Yeah,
why is it to your left?
In that chair.
Should I sit in the chair?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me pull over the chair.
Uncle Dippy.
It's only an Easter egg if you sit in the chair. It's not.
Remember, SG, it is not an Easter egg. It is an oyster egg.
It is an oyster egg. But
all right,
only if you sit in the chair.
He's pulling over the Howdy QR code chair. How are you feeling?
Right. I was going to say, now we need to adjust.
Wow. Look at that. It's wrestling history.
It is kind of.
Wow. Look at you. Guys, a lot has been happening in the world of pro wrestling. There is a big Survivor Series that is happening on Saturday night in Vancouver. I shouldn't say Saturday night. It's really Saturday day.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is Saturday day. In Vancouver, I believe it's Saturday midday, like Saturday afternoon, right? Because what's the special start time on the East Coast?
The special start time is 6 p.m.
on the East Coast.
Correct. It is a 3 p.m. Vancouver start. How about this? My countdown show starts at 1 p.m.
So you can't even have brunch. You gotta be ready to go.
This is one of the all-time. This is going to be one of the all-time craziest WWE trips. And by the way, the light on Dip keeps getting worse and worse. You can't do anything?
I look like Uncle Howdy right now.
Yeah, you can't. There's not a blind.
Yeah.
You can't
You know,
lower a
but it's-
blind.
No.
There's no blind to lower. What about that back corner of the room where it looks like there's like normal light? Your other side. He's moving. Natalie, the entire podcast just heard you get whipped cream from the fridge.
You finished it.
That doesn't change the sound.
I literally had this one.
I'm sorry. This podcast has completely fallen apart. We are off.
How's
the same
that?
thing on the
It's
other
better.
side.
No,
now.
it's better though. It's better. That's better. He did it. It actually is useful. That is a better shot than we had before.
Now, Pete, even though I have that same can of whipped cream
Yeah.
in the fridge right now, they didn't. You know how I feel about this stuff. These people are not cutting enough checks for us to be holding up the doing that for us to do that. Yes, that.
No, Ready Whip doesn't deserve this.
No, they don't deserve that.
By the way, Dip, are you watching porn? Every time you sit at the computer, we can see you watching. You're looking at things on the computer that are decidedly not us. Like SGG, have you ever felt less looked at by someone on their computer than Dip?
Never. It's always Dip.
I feel very ganged up on her. I feel bullied. I'm feeling very bullied.
It's always Dip. He's adjusting. He's futzing.
Yeah, please.
Can we pull it together? Dip, concentrate. Natalie, stop talking about
Peter Rosenberg is the ultimate futzer. He's futzing.
Yeah, but not during the show. I'm not. You're always.
You're not. You're not futzing during the show. You're the. Hi.
I'm not futzing the way you're futzing. SGG, who futzes worse during the show?
Dip futzes worse, but if we're talking eating during the show, I believe, yeah, that's.
But you're a futzer in life. You futz more than anyone.
Do you understand that I'm on the radio though for like at least 8 hours a day, where you can't futz in the way you futz. Like I know how to check out during a show. Like you might look at me and I'm just staring off into the distance. You don't look distracted. You don't look like you're bored. You look like you're actively doing something else. Like you're like this. Your eyes are searching for something else. That's clearly not us. That's all. I don't mind if you're just staring into space. It's the clearly looking for something else. All right. So
next when I'm at your house,
yeah.
you it's impossible to get you out of the house. You're futzing with the pillows. You're eating the dogs. You're eating the cats. You're doing all these things.
Listeners don't care about that.
Yeah, exactly. They're not affected by this. The pillows need futzing. So this is going to be one of my all-time craziest travel situations for Vancouver. I am leaving the house Friday at 5. I get to Vancouver Friday at 9. I have to go. The countdown show starts Saturday at 1. The post show will end, I guess, Saturday at 7.
You're going to Vancouver.
I'm going to Vancouver.
Oh, not sure.
The show will end Saturday at 7, and I am on a flight at 10:30 coming back.
It's 10:30 Saturday.
Yes. Because of the time difference, I was like, you know what? I can get out that night and not have. I don't want to travel on Thanksgiving Sunday. I'd rather land when it hasn't even happened yet. You know, I'll land and it hasn't even started. Get me out of there.
That's a good point.
So that's my plan. Now, SGG, we like to talk about travel on the show. And I've got a bit of a conundrum. Dip, you obviously have no say in this because we know you don't spend money on upgrades.
No.
If that's what it is, I'm saying do it.
It's an expensive upgrade to get the mint laydown experience coming back from Vancouver.
How much?
Well, you're going to need it, though. You're going to need it. That's the thing.
How much is it?
I can't tell you, Dip. Let me talk to SGG about this.
Yeah,
$1,200?
Cover your ears.
SGG, what's the number? What number would you go to? How high would you pay? Keep in mind, I didn't pay for the ticket, so I'm just paying for the upgrade. But how high would you go for the upgrade?
Oh yeah, you're just paying for the upgrade?
Yes.
I'll go like $1,000.
Dip made a face of absolute disgust. Dip?
I would spend $300 to do that.
Well, that would get you a pillow.
Right. Maybe. You won't even get the blanket. You just get the pillow. So you better.
The difference is split between you guys. It is $800.
You are
do it.
By the way, I demand, as your manager, I demand that you not do that. That's enough.
I feel like that's an accountant
What are you
demand.
doing? Hold on. Why
That's
are
not
you?
like a.
Natalie just came in here and she just has an index finger pointed at me. What are you pointing at
This
me
is
for?
futzing. This is not futzing. This
What
is
do
a
you?
futz. This is a
Futz
big
Jace.
futz.
You made 800.
I didn't do anything yet. I'm deciding.
We need a stroller. A stroller is $1,000. No.
Throw the stroller on the registry. Throw the stroller on the registry.
You don't have a stroller yet?
You
The
don't have a
baby's
registry
coming in
yet?
January. You don't have a stroller?
No, we don't have a stroller yet.
Throw the stroller on the registry.
Yeah, we're gonna get a stroller. I'm getting you a stroller.
Are
Okay.
you prepared for this?
Let me ask you this, P.
Go ahead.
I see you wearing your Washington Commanders hoodie. Did Hove say "I love you" back? Because if he did, then I think he might be on the hook for the stroller when you put it up on the registry.
Natalie did say "I love you" to Jay-Z. That did happen.
Did he say "I love you" back? Because if so, he might be on the hook for a stroller, something.
It's a great SUG. It's a great point. He did, and I told him that she was pregnant, and he didn't. He was kind. Do you think that means is being warm enough to be owed a present?
I feel like yeah.
Guys, I'm going to share you. I'm going to share these with you before they make the internet. You ready?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Mage.
By the way, is there anything better than this happened? I didn't think a picture was taken, and then the next day someone sent them to me.
Yeah, that's perfect.
You ready, SUG? Here you go. Hold on. Let's keep going. Look how amused he is. Dip, look how amused Jay-Z is with something I said.
He seems somewhat amused.
You can't see the amusement? There's amusement there.
Yeah, it's a smile. That's more than a smile.
Amusement.
All right, now here we go.
It sounds like he has a retort, like he was saying something in response to whatever you just said.
I'm looking for Natalie. That's me looking for Natalie. And then here is the moment when Natalie is saying, "I love you" to Jay-Z. This is Natalie expressing love to Jay-Z. There it's happening.
What did Wale have to say?
Oh, I hung out with Wale quite a bit. We didn't talk about professional wrestling, though.
Well, I mean, how could you? This was the sweet of sweets.
It was the king of kings. All right. Speaking of which, though, let's get to it. I guess we got to start. There's so many different things to hit. Is everybody happy with CM Punk in the WarGames match? I have mixed feelings on this. I'll start with the more likely to be critical, Brian Dipperstein.
I just think, look, someone had to be in the match, and there was no other schmanga donga for it to do it. So if you're going to put somebody in it who ultimately will feud with one of these people, and Paul Heyman is part of the equation, CM Punk makes complete sense. So I didn't like it at first, but as long as it leads to something, I'm excited about it. Yes, I'm all good with it.
All right, SUG.
Oh yeah, look, I'm a huge fan. I saw it coming as soon as Seth said no, and I think that it makes perfect sense. And this is going to be the thing that branches us out in a lot of different ways in the storyline, right? Because Heyman came back and left with CM Punk after Roman couldn't get a hold of him. No one else would fill that spot for the Bloodline because they all hate Roman. And all of that happened while CM Punk was not around. So he really doesn't have a dog in the race aside from wanting to protect Paul Heyman. So him as that fifth person makes perfect sense if the rest of the family is supporting Solo as their tribal chief, right? And then for what it means for Seth is to see his two biggest ops come together for whatever reason, I think is going to drive him over the edge. And I, for one, am ready to see crazy Seth Rollins, not just like maniacal, fake Joker, weird Seth Rollins with the clothes, but like psycho Seth Rollins that is pissed off at Punk, maybe Roman, but definitely Punk, and where that takes us past Survivor Series.
I like both of your guys' angles on this. My initial thought was I wanted this to be pure Bloodline. That was my hope. I wanted this to be an absolutely everyone in this match is in the Bloodline. And I think that was very doable. I mean, you could have just had Roman, Sammy, and the Usos. And when I say legitimately in the Bloodline, I mean legitimately adjacent. You have Roman, Sammy, and the Usos versus Solo, Jacob, and Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. Could have just called it a day.
Could have.
4-on-4. Good night, good luck. See you later.
And it would have been great.
And it would have been great. And we could have, and then if you wanted to, then we could have had the Paul Heyman thing and maybe there's a Rock appearance. I wonder if this was the plan or if this was a pivot because the Rock could not be involved.
A Rock appearance is not off the table. I think a Rock appearance in the match was always off the table, but a Rock appearance
on the show, you think it still happen?
On the show is not off the table, I don't think.
I don't smell it. I don't smell where it's cooking.
They have a lot of heat, but they got a lot of heat leading up to, like, it's not just Mania, right? They have Saturday night's main event. They have the Rumble. They have the Netflix debut. I believe it has another Saturday night's main event been announced.
Not yet, but it was about to be if it hasn't been.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot on the schedule for The Rock to potentially be involved in. I don't see him doing the European tour, but that's also huge in March where they spend like 2 or 3 weeks over there. The Rock is not gonna just miss that.
I like the idea of building up. Is Paul Heyman with Roman? Is he with CM Punk? Is he with Solo Sikoa? Like, where the idea of where does Paul Heyman's loyalty lie is a very good story to tell because we trust Paul Heyman to tell that story. So if it's leading to the Royal Rumble in February 1st, we're leading into the Royal Rumble with a storyline that revolves around where Paul Heyman's loyalty lies between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Solo Sikoa. I think that's good. That's good TV.
I think his loyalty lies with CM Punk, right? I mean,
I think it lies with Roman Reigns.
Roman abandoned him. So the only way Roman can get Paul Heyman back is if he does what he hasn't done yet, right? He hasn't done this for Sammy, for Jay, Jimmy, anybody, which is like sincerely apologize for the chaos that he's caused in their worlds. Yeah, he's getting his ass whooped by Solo and different members of the new Bloodline almost on a weekly basis. And for me, it's heartbreaking to see because he is my tribal chief. But for those guys, I mean, look, Sammy's right. Jay's owed an apology. And even though he only asked for an apology for Jay, they all are owed apologies, especially Heyman, who tried to get in touch with him, sent him various messages, blinked twice at the camera and everything. And Roman Reigns did not show up until after Heyman was already just attempted murdered, guys. Let's be real. They put him through that table
Mr.
at MSG.
Heyman, as Cody Rhodes would say.
Mr. Heyman.
I don't know. The insertion of Paul Heyman back into the mix is what's going to make the next few weeks of TV interesting, I think. So
I agree.
How did you feel? How did you feel about Heyman wearing the red T-shirt under the suit jacket?
I didn't like it.
It was upsetting for you.
I need him in a suit. I can't have him in a T-shirt.
Full suit though, not just like the suit with the T.
He was wearing the same thing as Solo Sikoa, which made a lot of fans on the internet question what that could possibly mean. So, look, if this leads to a
good job, internet. That's right.
If this leads to a CM Punk Roman feud, I'm here for it. That's it. Yeah. We have not seen that, and that's about as major as it gets. So,
yeah,
I don't think you get I mean, besides doing like a Cody Punk thing leading up to Mania, I don't know. I don't know what Mania is going to look like, man. It is so unpredictable at this point. We think we know.
You think you know?
I don't think it's going to be what we think.
Isn't this what we've wanted for years, though? Right? Like these major pieces all orbiting each other, and we have no idea how they're going to come together.
Yes.
Come April.
Yes, I would say the storytelling is at a high right now with the big stuff. So I really don't. We don't know. We don't know how Mania will end up. You have Cody Rhodes. You have CM Punk. You have Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. All these people just sort of up in the air. We don't know we have the Walk. We don't know
we always have the Walk.
We have John Cena. We have Randy Orton. We have all these people sort of floating around each other. And we don't know what's going to happen.
People are floating and floating.
It's a lot of flotation happening.
No-
I was gonna move on to the New Day because
Go
I have
ahead.
to go in a minute.
You have to go in a minute.
Minute it is.
You have 9 minutes.
I would say
Jace confirmed.
that this is going to bring out the best in Austin. I mean, this guy has got to be one of the best actors and talkers on the roster. And
You
now
got
he
that Xavier
finally has.
Woods?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just pulled an Emilio Sparks.
I did.
We got Hollywood Dipper over here.
Emilio, let me tell you about Emilio Sparks is one of the biggest government name droppers in the business today. To the point that he'll do it with people that I go, I don't know what that person's real name is. But Austin is Austin Creed.
That's right.
You mean Xavier Woods?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
That was an incredible segment. It went on a little too long last night, but it was an amazing backstage argument. And I like that we followed them back into past Gorilla and into the sort of the backstage area. That was a brilliant sort of segment. Brilliant, beautiful, stunning.
Yeah.
That was great TV.
The only thing missing from that segment for me was Kofi punching. You can call him Austin. You can call him Woods. Kofi should have punched him in the mouth.
But that's happening next week, I assume.
You assume, huh?
Needs to.
You assume, huh? Because somehow another week happened and it still didn't happen.
Yeah, that's right.
They did everything but, it. Got close, though.
It would have been great if they didn't make it to the anniversary. Like the anniversary technically has already passed, but like if they don't make it to the celebration, that would have been great TV for me. Just because they built it up, it's not even really a bait and switch. They just built it up and they shut it down with Kofi punching him in the mouth. Though that's what I want to see.
Yeah, I hope they're going to do something unexpected here. I mean, you assume that Austin will just hit Cody with a chair or do something or a low blow. But I really would like to see something that we don't expect. I'd like Kofi to end up as the heel.
But I've been saying that for.
Doesn't have Etor have something to say here?
Etor, I would love to hear from Etor. I mean,
he's not advertised at all in this whole thing too.
We're getting Etor.
We have to get
Etor.
Emilio, how do you say Big E? What's Big E's full name again? Say it properly.
It's Etor Ewing.
There we go. By the way, that is the only way Emilio refers to him. In this case, it doesn't play quite the same because they're very close, but he does it with people that he's less close with too. I'm not wrong, right, Emilio?
No.
Thank you.
So is the E in Big E for Etor or Ewing?
It's Etor, right?
It's Etor. Big Etor.
Yeah, Big Etor. That's what we call him on this show. We love Big Etor. He's big. He like Eeyore, but Etor. So when's the anniversary celebration?
Next
Monday.
Oh boy. So by the way, though, the setup is almost now so obvious. They have to Big Etor Ewing's going to be there. So now they have to do so. Now this has been set up endlessly. You're not doing it at this pay-per-view, which means you're saving it even further, which means we will get, in my opinion, it's perfect for this. We will get a big New Day explosion match at Saturday night's main event, which is Mage. That's a great match for that. That's a perfect dip. Don't you agree? That's a perfect match for Saturday night's main event.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, the backstage shit talking with the two of them the promos are perfect.
With me as Mean Gene?
Yes.
Can you imagine?
I can.
Can you make a phone call?
Yes.
I need to do it. I'm backstage. I'm with Etor Ewing. Big Etor. So hopefully we'll get something Mage that happens next week to get us to whatever that thing is. But that's not all that happened this week, guys. It has been nonstop. Jade Cargill has been written off television, apparently, being brutalized backstage by an unknown assailant.
It's Bailey. I'm throwing it out there.
You're going Bailey?
I'm going Bailey.
As soon as Nia
denied it, I said that's Bailey.
Can't be Bailey.
Bailey is the big show of.
She's getting there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's Bailey. Isn't that too obvious?
I think it's no one. I don't think they know yet. I think Jade Cargill is going to be out for a while.
Say it again. You think what?
People have been accusing Naomi. I don't think it's Naomi. I think it's Bailey.
I think it's Etor.
You're going Etor?
I think the other person I've seen on the internet that potentially is responsible for this is Fufu Shmashma.
True.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Definitely.
I'm a little offended that in talking about Bailey, we didn't just call her Pam. I think Pam did it.
It's possible that it was Pam.
Hold on, what about, has anyone considered this? This is an important thing. And by the way, anyone listening right now, if for some reason you have a wife or a family member, or maybe you who loves Beyonce, Dance Party with Beyonce, my This Ain't Texas episode 1 is up right now, SGG. I expect a high family listen.
Oh, of course.
This weekend.
This.
Is Crystal Beehive?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Full Hive or Hive of J's?
Full Hive.
Full Hive. Nice.
Full Hive.
Right. I need to call on her for an episode. Maybe guys, have you considered maybe it was Demi Bennett?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I have no idea who that is.
It's Rhea Ripley, of course. Demi Bennett.
No, it wasn't her.
What about Gregory Hyde?
It wasn't me.
What about Thea Trinidad?
It's possible. That was possible.
I'm just trying to think of more real name.
Trinity. I'm surprised you didn't say Trinity Fatu.
Oh yeah, what about Trinity Fatu?
I don't think it was her.
When Dip and I discussed making fun of Emilio the other day, this is why I'm glad Dip remembered to do it, because I was telling him that Emilio has a thing of government name dropping, and then we were speculating on doing this all the time on the show. And the one that really gets fun is when you get to the Usos, whose names are very common and just not their names.
Oh yeah, but it's J names though.
Still. But your J names, Josh and Jonathan.
Yeah.
Right, but in my defense,
go ahead.
Right, when they introduce themselves, they're not saying their worker name. They're introducing themselves in their like personal, like regular name, like their governments.
So what
like, that's how I refer to them as, because that's what, like, I heard a weird interview with like CM Punk years ago, and he was like, if I introduce, like, don't call me like Punk or Phil. If I introduce myself as one or the other, call me that. And he like went on this whole spiel about it. So when I met him, guess what he introduces himself as? Phil. So what do I call him?
You call him Phil.
I call him Phil.
But that's a Phil Brooks rule. That's not a universal.
Yeah.
It's not the universal rule.
But he's like decidedly Phil. He calls himself Phil galore. He's Phil.
What are you calling Triple H if you run into him, Emilio?
Okay, when I worked for the company, he introduced himself as Paul. So I addressed him as Paul.
He actually introduced himself. He said, "Hey," like as if you didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
I respect that.
He said, "Hey, Paul, man."
Exactly.
He is so not Paul.
He's H, man. He's Hunter or H.
Yeah, but I'm not calling him
the only person who calls him H is Andrew Schultz.
Yeah.
And by the way, and Austin last night called him H.
Austin did? In what context?
Before the match.
He was like, hit the music, H.
They walked through Gorilla together.
Yeah.
And he goes, H, hey. And then they walked down the ramp.
Wow.
You didn't see that?
I didn't catch the H.
So maybe Schultz is the only white person that calls him H.
I'm not. I would never call the man H. I would never call the man. I think I only call him Hunter.
Yeah,
that's solid.
That's the thing to call him. Because this is why Emilio's theory is moronic. It doesn't really matter how these people introduce themselves. It's what they're known as.
Right. I was introduced to you as Punk.
Yeah,
that's how I was introduced to you.
Timberstein, don't you have to go now?
Yeah.
Are you coming back?
No.
He's not coming back.
That's it? What about tonight for our watch along?
Potential.
He's gonna be watching a puck get abused by these hockey players.
You're coming back. We're watching Team Bischoff versus Team Austin. Okay.
Maybe we can get Rob Fee on the watch along. That'd be big for the people.
Why not? People would love to hear. They love Rob Fee. Then he's come on and go, This is the incredible match. I didn't even say it.
Oh wow!
What are your thoughts?
Very illicit.
That's
Yes.
close, right?
Pretty good.
He's got a
Pretty
wrestling
good.
voice of Jace. He's like
He
Rob Fee's permanent quiet voice, as if he's playing a wrestling character with like a gravelly voice.
Yes.
I like
It's a medical condition, but okay.
Hold on.
Same age.
Brian Dipperstein, everyone. So SGG, we're also now left to know A, how long Jade Cargill's out.
Yeah.
B, if this is as serious as it's being speculated it could be, and the way they wrote her off, SGG, suggests serious.
Yeah.
The way they wrote her off was like, you're not going to see this person for a while.
That's exactly how I read it.
And that would mean to me, what a potentially sad thing. This Bianca Jade thing, just to make it, like, obviously we just hope that she's okay and she's able to resume her career and be good. Obviously, it's the most important thing. But from a wrestling standpoint, SGG, it may just be that like they just have to give up the tag titles and whatever the breakup was going to be, the eventual we thought would be a Mania match between Bianca Jade, like all of that would just go away, man. It would just be such classic, tragic sort of wrestling stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. If they go that route, right? Like I could see Bianca just trying to like campaign for like, no, let me just find another partner, or like whatever, and then them allowing that. I could see, Bayley stepping up, and then we find out that Bayley was the diabolical one all along. And that leads to something for her and Bianca going into Mania. But they can't just give up.
That's such it is a quick turnaround for Bayley, for Pam.
It is, but it's not for nothing though, right? It's like for her to cement herself as the top heel over on SmackDown, because like Nia's up there, but Bayley would be a different type of heel over on SmackDown. Let's just be real about that. She would be a different type of heel.
What do you mean?
So like Nia's dominant, but Bayley could be, especially if she's orchestrating all this destruction in the women's division without damage control and without a group being her minions, she could be like the female Triple H of old.
Paul or H.
Or Hunter, the female Hunter of old. If she's able to pull this off the right way.
I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready to see Pam in that light, but I hear you.
My aversion to the tournaments though was that like, so they announced the Women's United States Championship a couple of weeks ago. That tournament is underway. Last night they announced the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Presumably a tournament for that is gonna start soon and be underway.
Can't wait.
They cannot have the women's tag team titles also be subject to a tournament while those two tournaments are going on. That's too many tournaments. The women's division will be tournamented out. They need to like give a story to the tag team titles because that belt's actually established.
Yeah, this is did you expect that we would all of a sudden get this many women's titles?
Yes.
You did? So thought it would happen because of the show separation?
I did. So during Mania weekend, this past Mania weekend, I interviewed Zoe Stark, and we talked a little bit about women's mid-card title and what it would mean for them. And then later that day, NXT announced a women's North American championship. And then right after they did that, I knew that the two for the main roster wouldn't be that far behind. I wasn't sure if they would like give it a different name and be like, women's, the Mid-Atlantic Championship is for the women's or whatever. So as soon as they announced a women's North American Championship, I knew that a women's United States and a women's Intercontinental Championship was going to be coming down the pipeline soon. I thought it was going to be around SummerSlam, but I knew it was on the way.
So we currently have Bayley versus Chelsea Green, and I want to give Zach credit because I think he's the one who mentioned a while ago in our group chat about how over Chelsea was getting. And I was like, do we really think she's that over yet? She has a match against Pam.
Yeah. Look, she is over. She's over. I don't know if she's over to the extent that, that Zach like if she's at the level where Zach has her at currently, but she is undeniably over. I'm entertained by her all the time.
Her name is Chelsea, by the way. Her name is actually Chelsea Green. So we can't even have fun.
No, it's not fun at all.
No, it's
her
Chelsea
last
Green.
name is Green also.
That's right. Her name is Chelsea Green.
Boo.
Yeah, it's like Peter Rosenberg. Who needs that?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Trash. Come on now. Do you think that Chelsea beats Pam?
No. I don't.
You think that was the extent of getting a little push?
Yeah, I think so. Because like this new title, I think is gonna need somebody like a Bailey to establish it, at least for a little while. I don't think Chelsea Green.
Now Chelsea ended up getting the W in the match with Blair Davenport and Bianca Belair because the distraction of the Jade injury was presented.
Yeah, and Bianca left. She abandoned the match.
And we got ourselves a quick win from Chelsea Green.
Yeah, she abandoned the match after having it well in hand, by the way.
It seemed like it was all wrapped up, huh?
Yeah, well, I did.
And then on the other side, we currently have Mi Chin awaiting the winner of Naomi Tiffany Stratton and Elektra Lopez, and the winner of the Bailey Chelsea versus the Mi Chin whoever. Those two winners will go on and fight for the title at Saturday night's main event. I got to tell you, that's another great match for Saturday night's main event. An inaugural IC champ. Because and what I mean by that when I say perfect for it is, to me, you're looking for stuff that is big time and feels like something, but is not quite like it has to be on a PLE.
Right.
But like bigger than regular TV.
No, but because it has to have that novelty to it, right? And like championship matches are perfect for that.
Yeah,
they have they have that novelty to it. It doesn't necessarily have, depending on the story, it doesn't need to be like, oh, this must be on a PLE, but it is definitely by virtue of being a championship bigger than just free TV,
especially an inaugural championship.
That's right.
SGG, have you been paying attention to the Drake Kendrick Lamar lawsuits?
Just a little bit, not too much. I saw that yesterday that Kendrick Lamar has a lawsuit now also. Is that because you said Drake Kendrick Lamar lawsuits? It's just the Drake.
They're Drake lawsuits geared towards Kendrick Lamar in some way.
Yeah.
The first one accusing Spotify and Universal Music of conspiring to inflate streaming numbers.
Yeah.
And then there's a follow-up one supposedly about Not Like Us propagating things about Drake that are not true.
Yeah. So those to me are nothing lawsuits unless, and I think this is where Drake is going with this, right? These things are costing him money. So now if it's going to cost him money, I would say, yeah, you got to file the lawsuits and get your bread. You cannot because these are probably millions of dollars that we're talking about now. You cannot just let that stay on the table. You got to go get that.
You wait, if you're which side?
Drake. If it's costing him millions of dollars, I feel like he sort of has
the defamation part.
Yeah, because I think the way I read the lawsuits was that they inflated the numbers in a way that made Drake look bad from a data perspective,
and
then they used that data to deny him something that he felt like he was contractually obligated to receive. Owed, aka money. And so because with them having a relationship with him as the label, it should have been in their best interest to sort of not manipulate the numbers in a way that harmed him right when this contractual obligation was coming due. So that's his beef with the label, and then his beef with Kendrick is the defamation part is like him saying those things led to some reputational harm for Drake that again impacted his pockets. I don't know if he's gonna be able to prove that, but I feel like when you're talking about millions of dollars, you gotta file the suit and get that bread back.
It's not. Let me tell you what though, in the court of public opinion, this is not going great. You better win the lawsuit.
Yeah, no, and the reason that it doesn't go great is because I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, and he was just like, just by filing the lawsuit, Drake lost the streets in rap, and like that's gonna harm his numbers even more than whatever Universal.
See what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Is it worthwhile? I feel like at every moment. And by the way, I'm about to go on. I'm going on TMZ today to talk about this. Most notably because I'm promoting the Beyonce podcast, and they wanted me to talk about this. So I go, all right, I'll go play your reindeer game so I can plug the Beyonce podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like ever since the battle, like he lost the battle, and then he's made every decision humanly possible to make this thing get worse.
Yeah.
So,
like, does he have the skills to bounce back? I think so, maybe. But it's going to be a tough hill to climb, especially if he loses. Because, like, he lost the battle. Now he filed this and has already lost in the court of public opinion. If he loses in the court of law and does not recover any of that money, it's gonna be tough.
All right. Tonight we're gonna do a Patreon, so we'll talk more about Survivor Series then at patreon.com/staymage. But real quick before that, we currently have 5 matches on the card for Survivor Series. We also didn't get to talk at all about All Out. It was All Out this weekend, right, Emilio?
Full Gear.
Full Gear. Damn it, the 2-word ones always confuse me. Full Gear was this weekend in New Jersey, and we want to hear Emilio's stories from Full Gear. Emilio, quickly, real quick.
Yeah.
How was the crowd for Full Gear?
It was lit. They were hyped from start to finish.
Was it crowded?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was no tarps, that's for sure.
No tarps.
None.
That's Mage.
But usually for their pay-per-views, though, there normally isn't a tarp.
So, and it still felt pretty full?
Yeah, it was the definition of Full Gear.
Did you look up high? Did you actually look up high and take a look around and see what it looked like up there?
Yeah, I did.
And it looked pretty good.
Yeah, because I was I pointed to Dizza and Gunn, and I'm like, yo, look, if you see there is a lot of folks wearing Fourth Rope merch, look around. And then we all looked around, and it was packed.
You had wonderful seats.
Yeah. He was in the ring. I think Sparks was in the ring at one point.
Sparks, you were in the ring?
Oh, of course. Come on.
You were in the ring of Jace?
Oh, come on. One phone call to Stefan and things happen.
Stefan.
Swerve Strickland.
Oh, there you go.
I thought I was going Arkell. I didn't know who.
Stefan Arkell?
Stefan Arkell.
It sounded like you said Arkells, which is crazy.
No. Stefan Arkell.
Urkel.
It was Stefan Urkel when he
you have to be careful there because it sounds like
it was Steve Urkel, Stefan Arkell.
It was Arkell? I thought it was Urkel.
Maybe we got to do a Family Matters watch along to settle the Patreon.
Did you know that there were 2 Harriets?
Yeah.
It bugged me out when I first learned that.
I don't think I'd realized that there were 2 Harriets.
Because the second Harriet had she was on for the rest of the duration, I believe.
Yeah, which is like 1 season.
I still not have I started Full Gear the other day and have not finished it. What level AEW pay-per-view was it? Was it strong? Quite strong?
Yeah, it was. I would give it an 8 for sure.
A worthwhile watch.
Yeah, I would watch Mercedes versus Statlander. I would watch Jay White versus Hangman, Swerve and Bobby,
Hangman Page,
and do the main event.
What do they have as the main?
The main event was John Moxley versus Orange Cassidy for the championship.
Did Max appear?
Max wrestled Roddy Strong.
Oh, that's right. Roderick Strong won the 3 matches in a row or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Max then beat Roderick Strong?
Correct.
Damn right he did. I don't want to hear anything else about it. All right, guys, we love you. We hope you'll join us. You're hearing this on Tuesday in all likelihood. We hope that you'll enjoy Wednesday's Patreon. We're all going to sit around and watch some Survivor Series. We'll make sure Dip can't be out that late watching hockey. And if not, Emilio, you're around, right?
Yes, I will make time for this.
All right, we're going to watch some wrestling tonight. We'll have a good time. If you're not a patron for some reason, we still are thankful for you, and we're excited about the upcoming year of Cheap Heat. Not that Thanksgiving is New Year's, but you get the idea. Stay mage, everyone.
It will be in like that, though.
I know. Enjoy yourself.
Take it easy, May.